What is Kaiser, Nagasawa, and Hutton's perspective on the fashion industry, and what is your perspective?
Yes, well, Kaiser, Nagasawa, and Hutton's premise rests on the fact that we live in a global society that promotes and offers a heterogeneous range of products. We're able to modify our appearance through negotiation and manipulation of products to fit our individual selves. Therefore, according to Kaiser et al., the consumer, through the choice of the array of these varied products, is the arbiter of change in the fashion system. And I agreed with them to the extent that the individual does the final negotiations in terms of their own appearance and dress. Where I differ is that I don't believe consumers have a choice of heterogeneous products in the apparel marketplace, but rather choose from a like or homogeneous assortment of goods in the marketplace and then individualize them. To me, the more powerful change agent in the fashion system is the industry who introduces and provides the goods from which the consumer chooses. Let me provide some perspective. This article was written 20 years ago when globalization and technology were becoming the main drivers of apparel goods in the marketplace. Production was moving offshore. Technology was changing how goods were produced, distributed, sold, and used by the consumer. Retailers, and particularly consumers, do not have as much to say in product development and design as they do today. Coupled with my industry experience, my premise was that those with the influence, power, and greater resource base determine what will be available in the marketplace. I questioned how much product differentiation there really could be in the marketplace. In other words, was the ability to influence and affect fashion change a function of the dynamics of the distribution channel rather than acceptance or rejection by the consumer?
What are the real-world applications of this information in the article? So what can students take away from this?
Sure. Well, that change is constant. That 20 years ago, we thought we were technologically ahead of the time, and we didn't even know what was available then. And I see what's happening now in the fashion industry and in the way that consumers access goods, and also the say they have in the production and design of goods. That we're constantly changing. Technology is constantly changing. Our society is constantly changing. And all these different social values, technological values, cultural values intersect. And you can't dismiss one from the other.
In the time that's passed since you wrote this article in 1997, has your position in response to the Kaiser, Nagasawa, and Hutton model changed at all?
Well, yes, the world has changed. And one of the interesting videos I have seen and shared with students this semester was on Big Data Future. And Big Data Future is where market researchers and companies are able to collect massive amounts of consumer data through the use of social media or online interaction. And they can use that data, to predict, they can use that data to cite trends, to notify us of the trends and such. And I think that's something that has really changed tremendously and will impact the industry.
With the exponential increase in technological advancements since the 90s, do you think it still holds true that technology encourages a more homogeneous system? Or has recent technology expanded the selection of garments that are available?
Well, the apparel supply chain is highly integrated. 20 years ago, there was still a silo mentality. It was, I design this, you manufacture this, you sell this to the consumer. The different sectors of the supply chain now collaborate in order to provide the products that consumers will purchase. So access to product information, purchases and such, there's product information, one can purchase products 24/7 through multi-channels. Many retailers are moving to omni-channeling of goods, which means that goods are available at many different locations at any time in any place.
In follow-up to the previous question then, how do you think the issue of variety in product selection will be affected by the domestication of 3D printing as a form of personal manufacturing at home?
Well, it's an interesting question because technology has allowed the consumer to become part of the design process, as well as the production process, either through the use of consumer market data or consumer being able to design their own garments or make individual changes. The Inside 3D Printing Conference is being held next week at the Javits Center in New York, And that is going to be a tremendous opportunity to bring people together from all different kinds of businesses to talk about what's happening in the future of 3D printing.
So with regard to the 3D printing at home, do you feel as though this may dilute the market at all? Does this spread out the design process too much? So what are the differences do you see between something that is mass produced and something that is more locally produced?
Well, first of all, I do think there's opportunity. That's creativity. And manufacturers, business people are going to see opportunities to take advantage of it. So I think that creates new ideas, new opportunities. But I also think that when you're talking about mass distribution of goods, which is what we're talking about when we're talking about apparel, yes, there may be the local, and you're able to do things at home digitally, but you're going to be influenced by someone who is very powerful and influential and sets the trends. And there's going to be certain styles that are going to be in the marketplace, certain lines, certain styles, and part of the 3D is you're able to adapt that consumer, you're able to be an individual and then make that adaptation to yourself.
Certainly.
So I think it's great. I think there's opportunity, and that's where the next push for business will be.
So the access to mass production, of course, is going to be limited to people with the ability, or the companies that have the ability to do that. The individual at home's effect on, say, a mass style would really be digital. I mean, they can reproduce images of their, whatever their design is, but certainly they don't have the ability to distribute it and have other people actually wear the garments.
Well, but that's how, well, from home, it depends, because there are people that do that at home and sell the garments. But my point is that the fashion industry is this constant rolling out of ideas and trends and goods, and you can get them in various ways. And you can get them either through mass distribution, or you can get them through your own creation.
If the fashion system remains homogeneous through the years, what roles does the designer play? And you've already alluded to this question, but do you think the designer will still be relevant?
Absolutely. The designer is the leader. The designer is the person that sees into the future, that sees the possibilities, that provides the possibilities for the rest of us then to see and to do and to make products and to distribute them and sell them. So yes, I think the designer is here to stay.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.